Next, let's take a look at some of the options of the at command. Not all of these work. -L should list all the jobs that are submitted. We can specify a particular job using @-c or @-L to list all the jobs. I'll check that in a minute. -M definitely does not work because we don't have our mail system set up on the live DVD. So you can try it, but I don't think you'll get very far. You can also remove using @ or there's an @rm command to remove a specified job. So let's take a look at that. Let's try. We have to find out the date first. Date is 609. And I hope I get that right. Okay, @-L. Okay, got there just in time. So here I had just one job, and so you say @-L, this job number 3, which we just submitted. And if you do it again, chances are it's gone, so it's done. You can remove a job, try that. I'm not going to try that because timing is going to be tight. You can say @-R. And we don't see these large numbers. We'll see jobs like 1, 2, 3, and so on. Okay. A couple of other commands that we really should know about is the type command. One of them is the type command, and type tells you whether something is a built-in or an external program. And it's useful when you want to know more about any command. So it shows whether a specified command is a shell program or a shell built-in. So for example, I don't remember, I think CD is a shell built-in. Yep, CD is a shell built-in. So if you say type CD, you should see this output that says CD is a shell built-in. If you say type ls, you should say ls is /bin/ls, an external command. So type CD, built-in, type ls. Oh, it's aliased, so you're not sure. If you say alias, you will see that exactly. So ls is alias to ls color auto. That's because of the aliases that we have set up. Here it is. And so using this type command, actually we can't really tell what ls is. Take another example. There is, I believe, a /bin/echo. So if you said ls-l /bin/echo, yeah, there is an executable file. And so you might think, well, maybe echo is an external command, but no, it isn't. Actually, it is shell built-in, and you can see that when you say type echo. Says echo is a shell built-in. So there are situations where there might be an external command of a certain name, but then it's sort of overridden by a built-in. In this case, echo is a built-in. Although you can use this by saying /bin/echo. Okay. Next up, let's take a look at the time command that's used to obtain information about runtimes on your computer. Time will tell you 3 different pieces of information, and so let's try that. What we can do is we can type the ls command, pipe the output to /dev/null. Okay. And then you can do ls -L and R. Okay, so all I'm doing is running a command, letting the output go to /dev/null. And now what I want to do is time it. It took very little time. So it gives us 3 pieces of information: the real or wall clock time, the amount of time that's spent in user code, and the amount of time that's spent in kernel. So whenever you run a program like ls, part of it runs in user space, part of it in kernel, and those are the two parts of this. And then of course you're competing with a whole bunch of other programs, so you're not guaranteed that you will get to run right away. So whenever you type in a command, chances are your program runs for a little bit, some other program kicks in, and yours is in waiting to be run, and so on, and then maybe later you get a chance. So that's why the real part is not the sum of these two. You might expect that. Okay. So the time command is used to obtain information about the computer time your command uses, that is how much time, execution time, your command uses. It reports the real time, that's wall clock time. If you are looking at your clock, that's the amount of time it would take. And then also time used to run user code, that's called user time, and the time used to run kernel code, which is called system time. So to run it, you type time followed by the command name you want to time. Real time is the actual time or elapsed time from the moment you enter the command until the time that the command is finished. This includes all the time for I/O, time spent waiting for other users' commands to run, and so on. Or there's always things running in the background on any Linux machine. So it's not just other users, but the entire system. The real time can be several times greater than the total CPU time. So you want to keep that in mind. It's not just going to be the sum of user and system. User time is CPU time dedicated to the execution of your command in user mode. System time is the time spent executing Unix kernel routines to service your command. Okay, so CPU time is in seconds, fractions of seconds, and actually we get hours and minutes too. So the output of time looks a little bit different from what's shown here, but it's the same basic idea. Here it just shows you seconds and fractions of seconds, but as you saw, you can also get hours and minutes. That's what these are for, and these are seconds. Next up, let's take a quick look at calendar. This is not something we're going to use a whole lot of in this class, but it's a nice thing to know about. So we want to do everything that's in the book. This is different from cal. So cal gives us a calendar for a month, but calendar is slightly different. It tells you about different events for the coming days. So it just so happens to be January 16th, and so these are all possibly things that you might be interested in. Okay. So as the book as it's shown in the book, you have to create a file called calendar in your home directory or the current directory. And once you set that up with dates and notes to yourself, whenever you type calendar, you can pull up this information. Okay, so I haven't set up such a file, but if I did, you get to see all of that information that you add in. And then you can put your calendar command in your .profile so that you see what you have to do. Let's say it's a reminder or something as soon as you log in. Of course, this won't work in live DVD, so that's why I cannot display this. I cannot show this to you because live DVDs don't use this. So if you're working on a real Unix system, yeah, you can set up appointments and stuff in a calendar file and then type in the calendar command to show you all the reminders that you've set up for yourself. Okay, so next up I'll just take a quick look at finger. This was a command that you could use to get information about people logged into the system or a remote system if you know the internet address of that system. So by default, the finger command displays information in a multi-column format. The login shows you the login names of the users. I just want to say I should have done this before, but if you were to try to run this, you would get a message saying it's not there, and it tells you what command to type in to install it. And without a network connection, actually I don't have a network connection, I cannot show this to you, but maybe what I'll do is pause this video or stop this video, and then I'll install Finger and show you how this works in the next video.